So dear students, our next topic is Cantor's diagonal argument. Actually, this Cantor's diagonal argument is mainly used for uncountable set. We have seen the various types of set, right? If you remember, the one particular set which is called as infinite set. What is infinite set? The set which is not countable, that is called as infinite set. And from that concept, this uncountable set is coming. That is, whatever set we are having and that is uncountable, that is having infinite sequence, then that is called as the uncountable set. So we will see this Cantor's diagonal argument, which is basically for how the set is uncountable, that we will see. So the basic definition of uncountable is the set of all infinite sequences of zeros and ones is uncountable. Means whatever set we are having, that set contains the sequence of 0 and 1 which is infinite is called as the uncountable set. So for example, means consider this particular sequence, that is a1, a2, a3 up to an, where n is nothing but the infinity and ai is equal to 0 or 1. It can be only 0 or 1 and the value of n is infinity. So the sequence of zeros and 1 that is uncountable is nothing but the uncountable set. Now we have seen this particular sequence. Now we will see the particular example. So we can see in this particular example that we are having S1 which is nothing but sequence of all zeros. Then we are having S2 which is sequence of all ones. Then we are having S3 which is sequence of 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 and on. Then S4 having sequence of 1, 0, 1, 0. Then S5 having sequence of 1, 1, 0. S6 having sequence of 0, 0, 1, 1 and on. And S7 having sequence 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. So in general we can say that Sn, that is nothing but set n, is equal to Sn1, Sn2, Sn3 up to on. Means Sn is the set which is combination of all these elements, that is nothing but mth element of the nth sequence on this particular list. That is what we can understand from this particular example. Now it is possible to build the sequence, say S0, in which its first element is different from the first element of the first sequence in the list. Means it is possible that here in the first example, the first sequence can be different from the second element. Same way, the second element is different from the next. And in general, the nth element is different from nth element of n sequence in the list. So in other words, we can say that S0m will be 0 if SMM is 1 and S0m is 1 if it is 0. Means if the first element is 0, the second element should be 1. So now this particular example we are elaborating over here, that now we can say S1, that is 0, 0, 0, the first element is considered. Then in S2 the second element is considered. In S3 the third element is considered, and so on we are considering the elements. So what we are getting at S0, that as we said over here, the first element should be different from the sequence. So as we can see, we are having 0 at first position, so it will be 1. We are having 1 over here, so it will be 0. Then we are having 0 here, so it is 1. Here we are having 0, so it is 1. Here we are having 0, so it is 1. We are having 1 over here, so it is 0. We are having 0 over here, so it is 1. So the sequence is changed. Means that we can see over here the diagonal elements are highlighted because they are nothing but the diagonal argument. That's why they are highlighted. So the sequence S0 is distinct from all the sequences in the given list. Why? Because S0 is identical to the 100th sequence. Therefore, S0, 100 is equal to S100, S100. Same way, in general, if it is appeared as the n sequence in the list, we would have that S0n is equal to Snn. So, due to which S0 construction is impossible. And from this, it follows that the set T consists of all infinite sequences of zeros and ones, cannot be put into the list of S1, S2 up to so on. Otherwise, it would be possible by the above process to construct the sequence S0, which would be in T and at the same time in T, because it contains all such sequences where S0 should be just a sequence. But since S0 does not appear anywhere in the list, we can see over here this S0 does not appear anywhere in this particular given list. So, therefore T cannot be placed in one-to-one correspondence with the natural numbers. And that's why the set of infinite binary strings are uncountable. Because whatever numbers we are having, when we are changing the particular sequence of that numbers, we are getting the number which is identical to the another sequence. But when we are trying to find out that sequence, we are not getting that sequence because it is the infinite sequence of 0 and 1. And that's why it is said that the set of binary string is uncountable, because that is the infinite set. And that is nothing but the Cantor's diagonal argument, where we are considering the elements which are present in the diagonal way, and we want to show that the numbers that are present in this particular diagonal way are present somewhere in the integer list at some sequence, but as it is a large infinite string sequence, that's why it is impossible to count that particular sequence, and that's why it is called as the uncountable set. It is having one-to-one correspondence, because for 0 there is 1, so for n there will be n plus 1, so that's why it has the one-to-one correspondence, but as it is the infinite sequence, that's why the set is uncountable. So this is Cantor's diagonal argument. In our next section, we will see what is function and the basic terms of function. Thank you.